play Dungeon World with awesome players. So Chain World is a series, as I said, this is our 17th episode. We've been doing this for a while, and the general idea is to show off awesome things you can do with Dungeon World and bring in new people to show off other things they think of and other ways they would run the game. So we bring in guests to play, and then they take over running the game in the next session. That's our general structure. We've also tried some other odd things along the way, permutations and sessions with just us. So it's a grand old time, and I'm going to stop talking about that now. Anyway, this event will be in accordance with the Indie Plus community standards. If you'd like to know what those are, please go to indieplus.org. And just to warn in advance, this event will be rated R NC-17. We don't limit ourselves. Sometimes we find it difficult to aspire to such levels of debauchery and vice. It is always a goal, but with certainty it is on the table, so do not be shocked if such things as rampant sex and drugs and alcohol ever show up, in addition to, of course, the copious violence and blood, which are far more our hallmarks. If you are aware of the comic book series Rat Queens, that is very much our inspiration, and that is very much a guiding post, so if you are offended by that content, then I suggest you not watch further, and if you like that content, then please stay. Also, please read Rat Queens. All right, so with that all said and out of the way, my name is Brendan Conway, and I, for tonight, will be, well, I mean, I will be the Dungeon Master, I guess, but, you know, the real title for tonight will be Umbral Lord of Hellbeasts, so I would very much appreciate being called that, or the Ulb, according to your discretion. And our heroes tonight are the Owlbear Scourge. We have followed them through many of their trials and travails, and I would ask them to now introduce themselves, starting with Andrea.
I'm Andrea. I play the former paladin Atheldrita Daygraves. Fun fact, most of the party still can't pronounce her first name. She used to be a paladin. She's now a disciple and still sort of trying to follow her god, but she's not talking to him right now because he's a jerkface, basically.
My god is a jerkface, and all I got was the stupid t-shirt.
Andrea, I think that might be my favorite intro ever.
That's very much
kind of a jerk face.
Oh, yes.
Jen.
I'm Jen. I play Andromeda the Star Mage. I think last session we ended with her sort of trying to keep her long-lost fiancé away from the guy that she was trying to date. But it'll be fine. She might have also accepted an engagement Warhammer.
Yeah, that's no obligation there.
Good. No, it'll be totally fine. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And she's also like plagued with some serious like eldritch horror disease necklace thing. It's fine.
So really, she has 3 suitors.
Oh my god.
One of them is a shadow demon.
Sure.
Awesome. Misha.
Hi, I'm Misha. I am playing Aliana the Elven Bard. I am one of the people who can actually pronounce Etheldreda Daygraves properly. Because my job is to document and epicize and make these people look amazingly good. And I try, and I often succeed when Shishina doesn't, you know, completely ruin my songs for me.
How often is that?
At least once.
Oh, poor Aliana. And Sarah.
I'm Sarah Richardson, or Sarah Doombringer. I will be playing Shishina, our lovely barbarian, who just wants to rule everybody she knows. She'll be a kind of beneficent ruler as long as you don't piss her off. If you do, then she will probably cut off your limbs while being confused about whether she wants to have sex with you or just hurt you more.
Or both.
Or both.
Oh, why limit it? Why limit it?
That's right. Why limit yourself?
Oh, my goodness. And, of course, tonight we are joined by a guest player, and our guest player is Dr. Tom the Frog. Dr. Tom, how are you?
Hi-ho! Hi-ho! How's it going, Elb? I'm pretty excited to be here. I don't normally play blue, but normally I'm green. I'll try it out for you guys. I cosplayed. Nobody else did. I heard that was a thing. Rogers, the notes were wrong again.
Damn that, Rogers.
In our defense, I have dressed up like 3 nights in a row this week, and I just couldn't do it another night.
Halloween burnout. We didn't count for that.
Yeah.
I will be playing Celafendalkei, but he goes by Slippy because everyone mispronounces it, Etheldrita especially. And I am a fighter from the Ezenkare, which unfortunately people call the Toads of Battle. Represent.
And anything else you want to tell us about Slippy?
I have a totally wicked tongue spike. It is my my weapon. It's totally in the rules because Brendan wrote them, so I'm not cheating. And also, Slippy knows Etheldrita from way back. We were good buddies back before she thought her god was a jerkface.
long time ago. And so
Must have been before the frosting.
Before the frosting. So Slippy's a fighter, right? And what kind of work does Slippy do? Is he generally like a mercenary? Is he more of he stays with a particular group of people and works with them?
Yeah, I'm kind of a mercenary, a tongue spike for hire, one might say. I just travel around. I haven't been here much lately. I'm usually out in the outer reaches, traveling to different places.
So you're not really like a city kind of character. You're not really a city.
I'm not a city product.
Right. Okay. Excellent. But you have met all of the Owlbear Scourge previously.
I have. In fact, I have bonds with them.
Awesome. All right. So let's do our bonds. What we'll do is we'll do them one at a time. We'll start with you, Dr. Tom. You can say one bond, and then I will go to each member of the Scourge in turn, and they will say what bonds they have with you. So what bond would you like to call out first, Dr. Tom?
Oh, well, Etheldrita, a.k.a. Graves, and we once looted a crystalline spike temple for my tongue spike, so I kind of owe her for that, because I love my tongue spike.
Nice. And that was a while ago, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
Back when Graves was young and innocent and...
Oh, yeah, she was always going on about smile, smile, smiles, her best buddy.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. You want to clarify exactly what a tongue spike is, Dr. Tom?
You bet. I would love to talk about a tongue spike. So a tongue spike is a traditional weapon of my people that I attach to the end of my tongue, and it has a number of signature weapon move things that are all mechanics that I've hastily written on my Firefly computer here. It's got reach and it's perfectly weighted and it's kind of amazing. But just imagine that a long frog tongue whipping around a spike and stabbing it into people. That's what I do.
Very effective and maybe a little bit gross. Very much in the vein of the Scourge. So quickly, Graves. I mean, clearly it sounds like Slippy remembers this incident with a certain amount of fondness, because that's where he got his tongue spike. What are your memories? Are they similarly fond?
Oh yeah, definitely. I can count on entrusting secrets to Slippy, because Slippy was actually the first one I told about me and Smiles.
Oh, cool.
He's kind of my shoulder to lean on.
Nice. Okay. And just to make this actually clear, like, obviously, ages may be different for the Ezenkare or the Toads of Battle, so it may not be perfectly commensurate, but Graves was approximately how old, and Slippy was approximately how old, like, in human terms, when this happened. So how old was Graves?
This would have been when she was still in Paladin school, obviously. The short thing she had with Smiles there. So probably like 17, 18.
Okay. So she was like young adult, 17, 18, close to graduation kind of thing. Cool. And how old in human terms, ignoring actual years, was Slippy at the time?
No, it's just tough. It's kind of like time zones. I always get a little confused. But basically, like, he was 20-ish. He could have drank if he'd chosen.
Okay. So they were close, but he was a little bit more mature, a little bit her elder.
Yeah, he was a little older than her, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and that also fits in with the whole shoulder to lean on. So I'll go to you, Graves. What bond did you have with Slippy?
Ooh, I just said it, but I said it in reverse order. So, I know I can open up to Slippy and entrust him with my secrets because he's kept them for me before.
Awesome. Okay, that's perfect. And then I will come back to you, Slippy. What is the next bond you'd like to call out?
Oh, okay. Well, the next bond I gotta say is I'm jealous of Aliana's music because my songs will never again match hers.
Aww.
Aww. Say a little bit more about what that means to you, Slippy.
Oh man, we're gonna get into that. Okay,
Just a little
fine.
bit.
All right. Well, so the Ezenkere, we were an ancient people, and we sang everything. Our songs were magical and amazing, and you probably have never heard it because long ago the crystalline spikes destroyed our people. They're these creatures made of crystal, and they ate up all of our songs and left me with this croaking voice, which kind of sucks, especially in comparison. So I'm a little jealous.
And for the sake of just getting it down, have you had your croaking voice your entire life, or was there a time at which you could sing?
I could sing just past the tadpole stage. My first songs were the last songs of my people.
Aww. And so, of course, jealous of Aliana. Yeah, so, and that presumes that, like, you've heard Aliana sing before, you've been there for her performances. So I'm going to turn to Aliana. Aliana, what is your bond? What bond do you want to take with Slippy, who's clearly been in the audience of your songs? Clearly seems to think that they are pretty darn good, but that may manifest as jealousy, it sort of sounds like.
I'm going to go with I sang songs of Slippy long before I ever met them in person.
Aww.
I had heard of this ancient race of amazing singers, and it sounded like a cool thing to make a song about.
And so were they songs of Slippy's people, or were they songs specifically of Slippy?
Specifically of Slippy, because as far as I knew, he was like one of the last of his kind, and I thought that was kind of a cool theme to go with.
That's awesome. Okay. So you sort of, like, you may have heard about him from Graves, and then you took his name and put it in songs, and that's awesome. Slippy, have you heard Aliana's songs about you specifically?
Yeah, and see here on my pauldron, she signed it.
I remember that now.
I'm glad because you looked a little drunk or wasted or something.
I was drunk. I will admit.
If a young man named Alfred ever sees that pauldron, run. All right, Slippy, what is the next bond you'd like to call out?
I worry about the ability of Shashina to survive in the dungeon. She seems a little wild. She doesn't wear much armor. I'm thinking she's going to get, shellacked.
So, Slippy, have you ever actually seen Shashina in a combat/dungeon situation? Is it based on actual experience, or is this just based on, like, she's not wearing enough armor, she clearly can't survive?
I can't do a cartwheel, but I'm pretty sure I can't pull it off in this armor.
Gotcha.
I mean, I haven't tried. I just know. I know that Shashina would not survive in a dungeon. She looks amazing, don't get me wrong. But, looks aren't,
There's just no way.
The Hobgoblin make it. They don't much care for looks.
This is the experience of years of fighting, saying that she just can't make it. Yeah, totally. I buy it. Have you ever expressed this to her, or do you just, like, watch out for her when you're around her?
She's not much of a conversationalist. I haven't actually brought it up.
Okay. Awesome.
I think she can tell, though. I give her the eye, like, are you sure you want to go there?
Are you sure you want to get in this fight? Okay. So, Shashina, what bond do you want to take with Slippy? Keeping in mind that, to me, it sort of sounds like the two of you have not necessarily seen each other fight, right? Like, if Slippy had seen Shashina fight, he might have a different opinion. If Shashina had seen Slippy fight, she might maybe listen to him a little bit more. Maybe. Maybe. It's possible.
No.
Alright, well, there goes that idea. What bond does Shashina have with Slippy?
Slippy the Fighter's ways are strange, confusing, and possibly tasty.
Okay. I mean, you opened this door.
Mm-hmm.
Have your people ever eaten members of the Esenkarai people?
My people would definitely not be beyond trying it, and I may occasionally attempt to lick our battle toad.
Perfect.
So many ways you can take that.
So,
oh, he's
Slippy,
hiding.
critical question for you, Slippy. What does it mean when somebody who is also not of your people tries to lick you?
Am I angry at the time?
I don't. When do you try to lick Slippy, Shashina?
Well, since we haven't really been around each other while we're fighting, normally it would be whenever we've begun drinking.
Yes, that's perfect.
That's just mostly uncomfortable.
Just a little weird. Okay, that's perfect. All right, and finally, Slippy, what other bond would you like to call out? Oh wait, yes, you have one more left.
Oh well, I have heard of the powers of Andromeda the Star Mage, and I'm kind of hopeful that maybe she might have an in with people who hate the crystalline spikes. So I have sworn to protect her, at least for one game session.
Now, when you say this, you've heard of them. You've never actually seen her powers in action, is what you're implying. Is that accurate?
No, but I've heard Aliana's songs. That's good enough.
Okay, that's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, totally.
I'm looking forward to you experiencing them in person. That'd be fun.
Do they involve licking?
No.
Okay, I'm down for that.
So, about you trying to protect me, Slippy actually resembles a species from my homeworld, who I am like mortal enemies with. My race is mortal enemies with that race. So like I have this underlying prejudice and hatred towards Slippy, like all the time. So, I mean,
that's and of course, like nobody else, like quite understands where that comes from.
Nobody gets it. They don't like that color. You don't understand what that means to me.
I was born this way. I can't help it.
Aww. So is this actually something you struggle to keep in Andromeda, or is this something you express no problem?
No, I struggle to keep it in because, like, I want to remember that he's not that race, but it's just
difficult.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So that is our starting bonds. That's perfect. All right. So let us get into it then. We are about a week from when last we actually played in the present. Our last session was the microscope session, which we did flashbacks. Go watch that if you haven't. But our last actual session in the present was with the, as I affectionately call them, Nega Scourge, the Thrauraxes, Smiles, Alfred, and Zephyros, these four great heroes who've been acknowledged as such by the city, who drove off the demon Shadow Dragon, and then Shashina summarily cut off Thrauraxes' hand and was imprisoned, only to, I mean, I guess it's functionally correct to say she screwed her way out of jail and onto the police force. And
don't forget what I did with the hand. It came.
I would love to forget what you did with the hand.
I had almost forgotten what you did with the hand.
That would be the best in the world. And meanwhile, I think Andromeda is dealing with the trouble of juggling her fiancé, who gave her a gravity hammer as a sign of betrothal, and her boyfriend, sort of, who is a fire lizard. And Graves was dealing with, if I recall correctly, essentially being relatively hardened, especially in light of her ex-girlfriend, we now know, Smiles, or at least ex-infatuation. And meanwhile, Aliana, as always, beleaguered and attempting to maintain an element of sanity for this entire group, while being beset by the affections of Alfred, the endless fanboy. So it's been about a week. You've had a bit of time to rest and recuperate. You sort of have a little bit of downtime. Things have been, the city's never quiet. You can never really say quiet. But the city's been relatively quiet as the city can be. So I just quickly, very, very briefly, want to know what you've been doing for the past week or so since those events, since the events with the Negative Scourge. So I'm going to go to actually Shashina first. What have you been up to for the past week?
I pretended to go through night or guard watch duty training, but I got kind of bored.
Like you do.
So I kept trying to get Hendrix to go have sex instead, sometimes successfully.
Okay, very nice.
And the rest of the time, I sat at the training table drunk and tried to give constructive criticism.
Okay, that's perfect. So in essence, you have actually been spending time with the guard.
Yeah.
Weirdly and scarily enough. Out of curiosity, what are your feelings towards Hendrix at this point? Is he just a really solid man toy at this, or would you like to make him part of your harem? Would you discard him in a heartbeat if it came to that?
I would say that he has potential. He's not quite yet harem worthy, but I'm working on it.
Okay, you've got to train him more.
Yeah, a little bit, which is unfortunate. I prefer when they come already trained.
Okay. Poor guy. He's had no one to break him in so far. Poor Hendrix. All right, Aliana, what have you been up to for the past week?
She's been noodling out a song.
What song?
Working out. She's trying to figure out how to work out the adventures they had in the alternate universe thingy into some semblance of rhyme and poetry, and yeah.
So, I mean, you're Aliana the Bard. Obviously, you can do this. I'm assuming if you're spending more time on it, it's more a matter of perfecting it, making it masterful more than anything. But I would probably call out that, almost by default, this song is much more unnerving and not what the people in the city are interested in listening to right now. Because they're all about this other group that just saved their city from the shadowy hellbeast, and they don't really want to hear a story about whatever, four weirdos who went into a shadow world or some shit. What the hell is it? To save a baby? What? So, how have you been dealing with that so far? Have you just ignored those? Do you have a second song?
She's mostly been working on it in private, so
okay.
She hasn't been playing it to the crowds yet.
Got it. So you've been holding this one to yourself, even though people keep coming to you and being like, Aliana, you should totally write a song about those four. They're amazing. Alfred's like, I would be so honored if you wrote a song for us.
It's hard to write a song about events you didn't experience properly.
Nice save. That's a nice move.
And that's why I'm the bard.
And as a final thing on that, Alfred has totally been attempting to spend as much time with you as he possibly can. Have you been putting him off? Have you been allowing that?
I think she hides from him as much as she can.
Okay.
If she sees him coming and she manages to get away before he sees her, she is definitely trying to do that as much as possible.
Okay, awesome. That's perfect. Andromeda, what about you?
I actually think that Andromeda has spent most of the last week with Charfiend.
Interesting. Okay.
Because she's probably kinda. And when she's not been with Charfiend, she's trying to figure out what the heck is going on with the Eldritch God in the necklace thing, because, I mean, she doesn't want to be possessed or whatever. So when you say with Charfiend, and then Misha makes a bow chicka bow wow sound, and you're like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Does this mean these are nice friendly dates, or this is you attempted to keep Charfiend's attention away from something, or is this you actually making moves on Charfiend and
I
creating
think
your harem?
I think, well, no, I think this is me wanting to spend time with Tarfeed because I'm pretty sure that I'm going to end up having to go home in the very near future.
I see.
And I have real feelings about Tarfeed.
I
And
see.
also I'm sort of running away from Zephyros a little bit.
Like
So,
you do.
yeah.
That was going to be my next question. So these have been like nice spending time together kind of things, so that
I
you
mean,
can actually like.
Probably jumped his bones once or twice.
Sure.
I mean,
well, the mechanics of which
Shashina have all the fun.
the mechanics of which are complicated. So we can just hand wave that.
Yes, please, thank you, bye.
But with regards to Zephyros, when last we saw him, you brought him into your couch. He's totally been attempting to find you and spend time with you. Have you been actively avoiding him? Have you been pulling the like, oh, sorry, I can't right now. Sorry.
I think the time that I've spent, trying to figure out the disease or whatever. What did he call it? I can't remember.
I think something like that, the infection.
Yeah, I think like the time that I've been spending trying to figure it out, maybe I've spent like a small amount of time with him.
Mm-hmm.
And
you have to
then,
appease him.
yeah, trying to.
Okay. And he's clearly been laying it on super thick, right? Like, we still should go home. I'm trying my best to respect your decisions, but also you are infected with a violent dimensional plague, and also I'd like to get married.
Right. And, well, by the way, you did take my Warhammer.
You
so
did.
there's that.
You took my Warhammer.
Yep.
And that means, according to our church, we are married for the rest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've sort of been trying to juggle that as best you can, keeping him pushed a little bit out, and he's been like doing his best to be dutiful and respectful, and like giving you the space you've been asking for, even though it's obvious at every moment that he wants to push harder.
Right.
All right, awesome. Graves, what have you been up to?
So I know I said I should be really easy to find if Smiles wants to come find and talk. But there's all these places on the outskirts of the city that have needed to be rebuilt, and so I've been doing that instead, which is really important.
This Scourge, you're just the greatest at confronting your problems head on.
Definitely.
Just go and hit them. Yeah.
I don't know what to do with problems I can't stab. It's not my fault.
I can't just kick the puppy.
It worked for me.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Shashina does.
It's really you get Shashina to kick my puppy.
I will do that. After
I know
I
you
steal
will.
his new girlfriend.
Let's not. Oh, God.
So, Graves,
I'm worried I might be his new girlfriend, though. That's just not going to work.
Graves, you've functionally been avoiding Smiles through do-goodery. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that similarly, she is interested in do-goodery as well, so she would be doing her own stuff, and not necessarily spending all her time attempting to find you. But let's just say you might have crossed paths, right? Because she's attempting to help, as much as you are. And so, did that incident look like super awkward conversation? Did that look like you actually talked, or did that look like you moved away so she did not see you?
I probably gave her the same shtick I have been giving her, which is, no, really, I'm fine. See, look at me. I'm doing helpful things, just like we're supposed to be doing.
Okay. And
Helping.
She gave you that look that said, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is total and utter bullshit, and I know it's total and utter bullshit, but you know what? I will let you stew in your bullshit, if that's what you want. Okay. Perfect. All right. So, with that said, in the intervening time, close to like the present, Slippy came and found you all at your opera house, and Slippy was there to hire you / propose a job for you. So, Slippy, you want to tell them a little bit about what you wanted from them?
I'll be happy to, Hulb. So I came along to get the Owlbear Scourge specifically because you guys are the experts when it comes to the cloud sprites. So I need to go find those guys to get some cloud sprite dust.
I kind of shudder a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Graves is like, oh, I need to like go rebuild this random cottage.
Don't worry, Shishina. There are no dungeons up there, right? So we're okay.
No, something worse. Feelings.
They're not right up there.
Hate the feels. So, one question for you, Slippy. You want the cloud sprite dust? You said. I want to know what does that do, and I want to know why you want it.
Well, there are lots of uses for the cloud sprite dust. I'm specifically hopeful to use the dust to create a little potion that might restore or cure my voice.
Oh, that's super cool.
Singing.
That's awesome. So, are you looking for enough to just like test on yourself, or are you trying to get like, do you trying to get enough for your people?
Well,
is this...
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make much of a return trip. I've followed the Owlbear Scourge mostly through Aliana's songs. I don't know how much of the cloud sprites will be left once we're done.
Okay, trying to get it all at once.
Yeah, all at once is okay. I'm good with that.
Excellent. Okay. That's perfect. And so, of course, you're pursuing the Scourge because they're the last known group to have actually made that ascent and come back.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So here's the thing, right? Like, Slippy's come to you, and it's actually been concurrent with All Hallows Night arriving. And All Hallows Night usually signals something a little different, right? The lead up until this night has been like cloudy and overcast and thunderstorms the entire time, and then normally on All Hallows Night the clouds go away, and you know the cloud sprites are always a little weird and wonky. Nobody necessarily has a clear notion of what's going on unless maybe somebody wants to spout lore about it, but usually they disappear. The clouds disappear, and they presume it's for another rite. They take their clouds and they go somewhere else to go do some ritual. Tonight, All Hallows Night, for the first time in, a long goddamn time, centuries, there are clouds in the sky at night. They're not overcast. It's not like the stars are visible between the patches of clouds, but there are clouds, and it's a little weird, and it sort of casts a strange feeling throughout the city that's so used to these nights being utterly starry-skied and clear, just as a matter of course, like guaranteed. So All Hallows Night is raging as Slippy has come to you with this request, and especially with these strange goings-on, there's an element of it probably makes sense to get up there sooner rather than later. Because if they do migrate, if they do leave, Slippy's chance may go away, and whatever the hell's happening right now up there might be important. The city is full of people doing their celebrations of All Hallows Night, wearing their masks designed to channel strange other entities, other beings, other spirits, giving them a voice for the first time in eons. Like, as happens on any good All Hallows Night, people are singing bawdy songs happily. Aliana, you might recognize one of them as the most tortured version of your own greatest hit. And like people are drawing blood, again, a good omen and sacrifice on All Hallow Night, given to the shadows. So it's traditional city sort of All Hallows Night revelry and whatnot. Just as a quick question, does anybody here normally like participate happily in All Hallows Night revelry? Are you upset that you are basically going to have to work tonight?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. Sorry, Shishina. It looks like you're gonna have to work tonight. I mean, Slippy, like, what are you offering to them to essentially entice all of them into doing this?
Huh. Well, I would have consulted Etheldrita ahead of time for what would be the most effective and cheapest way to convince them. Not made of gold, people. So, Etheldrita, what do you think? What should I offer? What have I offered at this point?
Oh, that's tough because Shishina's not going to want to go back up there.
Feels.
Yeah, and other things that we don't talk about. Talk about
What
that
happens in
night.
Cloud Sprite Land stays in Cloud Sprite
Guys,
Land.
I had a great time at Cloud Spray Land. I would love to go back.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I can just go for gold if we want to go for the gold. I'll like 1,000
Shashina's
coin or
a
so.
little more complicated than that. What else can your powder stuff do?
I don't know, man. You could tell them lots of stuff, right? I mean, you're not a paladin anymore, so we could just make stuff up.
That is true.
I
If you're wondering why I just snorted, Sarah just typed, "Let me lick you," okay?
Instant manipulation. Wait. Yes, hide, Dr. Tom. Hide.
I think I'd like to change my bond with Shashina.
I'm trying to avoid being licked at all costs.
Pretty much. Yeah,
Well, if your powder stuff can, I don't know, act as a drug or something, Shashina might be down for that.
it is a powerful intoxicant. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Thing is, I don't really want her to take all of the stuff that I could use to cure my people's curse, so...
Well, if it's as powerful as that, once you give her a little bit, she should be too out of it to take any more.
Yeah, but is she going to like try to snort it before we leave? And... Wait, we'll already be there. Okay, that I can work through this. That's fine. Good idea, Etheldrita. Thank you.
Oh my god, Graves the Paladin. Well, if you give her a little bit of the powerful drug, she'll be so out of it you can steal the rest and renege on your deal.
I
What
did
happened to you? What happened to you?
Kushina rubbed off on her.
This is not my fault. It's Jerkface's fault.
Oh my
It's
god.
your face's fault.
Alright. So, essentially on this deal then, Slippy is getting all of you to try to go up to the Cloud Sprites again. So imagine that like you've left the Opera House, you are all equipped and ready to try to get up there, reluctant as you may be, amidst the crowds of people in masks, holding their like bottles of liquor, punching each other. Good old All Hallows Night tradition. Like with you right this second. So Jen just typed Zephyros is probably with Andromeda. Do you mean like literally with you right this second, like attempting to come up to the Cloud Sprites with you?
I mean, yeah, because he's kind of been hanging around the Opera House, I think.
Sure, totally.
And he's sort of there. And I'm actually okay with bringing him because he might have a really good time at the Cloud Sprites place. And he might forget about trying to take me back home. So this could
If
work
he'll
out
leave
really
him there.
well.
Oh my gosh! Wow, the Owlbear Scourge, dealing with problems by avoidance. All right.
Is there another way?
No?
Oh wow. Okay, this is perfect. All right. So Slippy, that means you basically got an extra person in your crew, more than you'd expected.
He doesn't get a share.
He's just happy to be spending time with his.
He's
betrothed.
your hireling, Andromeda.
He,
And this little contract here. It's as long as you want to subcontract, that's your call.
This
I
Lord
feel
Highly.
like I feel like Andromeda is probably having to hold back Zephyros from punching Slippy, because he also shares the prejudices of their people.
Yeah, that's probably true. Like
So-
Zephyros's face is contorted endlessly into disgust as he looks upon Slippy.
Man.
Why are we following this disgusting?
It's fine. He's not like them. He's different. It's fine.
Smells of sewage.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of people in this town smell like sewage. I
Fair.
smelled like sewage for a while, and then I took a
All the
bath.
reasons to leave. All the reasons to leave forever and never come back. All right, so I'm putting it to you. Like, imagine Zephyros is griping as you're moving through the street constantly to Andromeda in the back, while Slippy's in the front. What's the plan here?
Oh, that's so cute. You think we have a plan?
Yeah, you know the last time we did this, we had an invitation.
That is true.
Oh yeah, how did you guys score the invitation last time?
Graves.
I don't think it's gonna happen a second time. Let's put it that way.
Do we have any skyships around here in the city? You can just steal one.
We're not stealing skyships.
Well, we'll bring it back. It's just borrowing.
Well, yeah, but the gnomes are kind of in charge of the skyships, and they're a little pissed with us.
They're a little mad.
A little bit.
Some of my best gnomish friends are gnomes. I think
Maybe
probably...
Shishina could get one of her fiancés to let us on board a ship.
I don't want to talk to them. They're clingy.
Come on!
They're short.
Viscera!
They're gnomish.
They liked you and thought you were their queen. Come on.
Okay, they did call me the Baroness of Blood, and I do like that.
Actually, quick important question for you, Shishina. How did you... okay, I was about to ask this question in a particular way, and I will reiterate it, and I know that this is a very bad way to phrase the question, so I want to be clear. How did you not get roped into working tonight? But I was originally going to ask, how did you get off tonight?
With the hand!
The hand has long been disposed of.
Oh, thank God.
I've had enough wine. I would have actually answered that question. So I went to Hendrix and said, I can stay here and be drunk and we can have the best sex of your life. Or I can go out in the city and make sure that everyone is safe and does their All Hallows celebrations in accordance to the law.
You're so cruel. Wow. And so apparently he said he chose the law. Wow. Wow. All right.
We can say he was still a little sore from earlier in the day.
Oh of course. He was a little spent. All right. So you were able to not be committed to work tonight. Dancing around that phrasing. So that you that's perfect. So he should not be looking for you tonight, though, is part of the point. Like he would not be expecting you to come in and work or do any particular duty.
Not till later.
Okay, not till
It won't be for work.
All right, just wanted to make sure. So there are a few skyships left in the city, just to call that out, like as a result of the other scourges. I need a better name for them, but as a result of their heroic salvation of the gnome army, there are skyships that were donated to the city as a gesture of goodwill. They are still around, and they are crewed by gnomes. There are high towers. I believe, if I recall correctly, last time you got into the Cloud Sprites by ascending there. Basically, you went to a very tall tower, and you were brought up from that point. There might be other ways as well. If anybody knows of a way and would like to spout lore on it, please feel free. Otherwise, go for it.
Oh, sure, why not? I'm sure that there's a legend of hero past who partied with the Cloud Sprites at some point and left tales of how one might do such a thing. So that is...
That's going to be plus intelligence.
That would be a 8.
Excellent. Okay, so what have you actually heard so far about this legend? Yeah, totally. Like, heroes went up there and partied with the Cloud Sprites, and it was the greatest of revelries. How did they get up there in that tale?
There is a staircase carved into the side of the mountain that ascends into the clouds.
Bam. Perfect.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So, that's the story. The actual factual nature of that staircase is a little bit more questionable. Most of the tales that talk about the staircase add an addendum to it. They say something like, it only appears under particular conditions. It only appears when true love's blood is spilled upon the steps. It only appears in the fullest light of the moon. It only appears and
On
like
All Hallows Eve.
on All Hallows Eve, right? But a whole bunch. There are different stories that are all a little bit variable in those conditions. Probably the most common are those three: Light of the Full Moon, True Love's Blood, All Hallows Eve. And so it's supposed to be set into the side of the mountain, which means it should be visible right now, or like the place where the stair is supposedly located. Where does it rise out of, Aliana? Like, what is it actually supposed to? The stair, what building or structure does it emerge out of?
I want to say the what's that place called? The place where the magicians used to have the bar that we burned down.
Oh yeah, which one was that?
Drawing a blank. Notes. Where the hell are my notes?
Was that on the side of the mountain?
It was on the side of the river, so the other side could have been on a mountain.
That's fair. So this is the place that the Shadow Dragon came out of, right?
Yes.
At this point, it is basically a smoking ruin, so we can just leave it at it is a smoking ruin right now. But that is supposedly where the stair emerged from. Obviously, since they built a bar there, most people consider those legends to be like, probably not. I'd rather go drink than make this a religious site or anything. But yeah, there is supposedly that's where the stair comes from. Totally. So is that where you're headed?
Sure.
Perfect. So you're leading the group there, Aliana.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. So you get to that weird place, and to be clear, this place is still, people veer the hell away from it. It has not been actually rebuilt. This place is still a wreck. It's creepy. There's a weird vibe here. There's mists. It's unsettling. What happened here? People remember things. The dragon. They remember horrible noises. This place has become sort of the equivalent of like a haunted house, except it's just a wrecked ruin. People have moved out of the surrounding buildings. So you're getting here, and it's noteworthy, especially on All Hallow Night. The people who were reveling all around you have vanished. So yeah, you come to this place, that wreck and that ruin. What do you do? I mean, Slippy, they just brought you to what looks like a really creepy, foggy, broken down building.
Oh, well, I've already paid them, so they're not going to roll me. That's good. And the drugs are up there. So I figure I'm good. It's kind of quieter. Good move. Right?
Aliana actually asked Charfiend and Andromeda to hold out their hands.
So to be clear, Charfiend isn't here, Zephyros is here.
Oh, shit.
So is that a super awkward moment? Did you did that actually happen? I'm perfectly fine if you want to actually say you meant Zephyros.
You know what? She probably did. Yeah.
Charfiend? That's a very strange name.
Yes, it is.
Is that one of those fictional names from one of your stories?
Of course, it's of course a pseudonym that I've been using for Andromeda's fiancée. I mean, I obviously couldn't use your real name because we wanted to keep that anonymous in case somebody decided to use you against her, and so I had to come up with Charfiend. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't like that name at all. I would much more suggest something like Void Star. Like Star Bright.
You wrote a story about him?
Yes, the story of Charfiend and his love for Andromeda.
But he's not Charfiend.
Shut up.
Jesus Christ.
I'm kind of confused now.
Really?
And I look at Graves.
Graves is definitely confused.
Let's just go and do the thing, okay?
Well, no, because we should clear this up.
How about no? Don't you want to go get the drugs, Shashina? Let's go get the drugs.
I'm not a dog, although I want drugs now.
That was the idea.
Andromeda needing to tempt these people with just intoxicants?
What is your problem, dude? What's wrong with intoxicants?
Well, nothing when they are appropriately crafted and made for cultured individuals like those back home.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep already.
So, what do we do to make the staircase rise?
Maybe you only need the one. Andromeda, darling, may I have your hand?
Yes.
And Aliana like pulls out a small knife and like stabs your finger.
Ow.
And like drips it on the ground near where that staircase that led down was.
Mhm.
Nice.
Or
Very, very nice.
I tried.
I was gonna say I was planning on rolling discern realities, but we can
You
even
can still
go
do
with
that
this. Okay.
if you'd like, as your finger is being pricked and your blood is flowing.
Yeah. No big deal.
No big.
No big. So now that I have first drawn someone's blood.
Thanks for that.
So, sorry, I thought you were. Okay, you are. Cool.
Yeah.
So like.
That's wait, hang on. Wisdom. I have 3. That's a 10.
So you get 3 questions from that list. I'll go ahead and answer those, and then I'll get to exactly what happened with the blood.
What here is useful or valuable to me?
You absolutely detect a really weird distortion, especially in this area where the shadow dragon ripped through.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's one of these classic places that you've encountered lately, right? Things are easier to tweak, pull, change right here, right now. You would probably have more control over a portal here because things are thinner, but also that means things are thinner, right? Like a portal here does not help that anymore.
Okay, what here is not what it appears to be?
Yeah. So the stair is an easy one. Aliana dripping your blood like around where the stair should be obviously makes clear there is something there. You can feel those vibrations and tweaks. Something is being called into existence. So the empty air is not what it appears to be as a simple thing. But also, just in a general note, that your attention is definitely drawn to the stars and to the clouds above. And, you are made even more aware of how ominous and weird they look floating above you.
Okay, what is about to happen?
Yeah, so you can sort of get a bit of what's going on. But it's not going to work. There needs to be an additional key to unlock it. And since you know, like cloud sprites, you know how they think, you know what they're about. It's probably a little clear to you what that additional key would be. You actually have to think about and focus on a major concentrated object of your emotions to actually make this stair appear. It has to be that's the only thing that will call it into existence. The kind of emotions that those cloud sprites love the fuck out of. Zephyros could do it if he thought about you, probably.
Are you saying that I couldn't do it?
That's up to you, really. So Aliana's dripping your blood, and as Aliana is, the drip periodically hits an invisible step, and then it falls through. It's like this staircase does not form.
I see. I'm a horrible person. I will just pull Zephyros up to the sort of area and be like, concentrate emotion, feel how you feel about me, go. Very awkward and horrible.
You're going to tell him to do it.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, are you asking him to get his blood drawn as well?
No.
You just want him to feel it.
Yes.
He's like, this sounds utterly nonsensical.
Work with us, monsieur. Just clear your mind. Think of the first time you saw Andromeda coming down a staircase to meet you as you went out for a date.
Oh, Aliana.
Think of the first time her lips touched yours. Think of the first time you caressed her hair.
That's really good. I don't think that's a parlay. I think that's a defy danger with charisma for you, Aliana, right? That's what you were relying on to get him to do this. Whether or not he wants to, you just talking about it and describing it this way will get the job done.
Good thing I have a high charisma. That's a 7.
Excellent.
Yay!
All right. So the staircase, like as you're saying these things, it's clear he's still a little bit like what, but
Don't think of a pink elephant.
he almost can't help it, and that staircase forms into being. As it does, however, and you watch the staircase shimmers all the way up to that weird floating cloud directly above you, all the way up, and it's really pretty for a moment. But then you notice there's stuff on it. It's a little weird and gross. It's slick and it's something dripping down along the stair. It's hard to tell exactly what it is, but it's weirdly colored and you can see it dripping from the bottom stair onto the ground below, unless you go up and touch it. In the meantime, however, you sort of watch Zephyros grow pale and weakened by something. Whatever just was pulled out of him left him a little woozy, and he falls to one knee. And he's like, "What? What? Andromeda?"
I hold his hand and try to make him feel better.
Is he really swooning?
Yeah, pretty much. So, Slippy, the staircase is there. It's covered in this weird material, but it's there. The staircase leading all the way up. What do you do?
All right, let's go, people. I'll start heading up the stairs. I'm not worried about guy who hates me, big species that he is, and
And also Andromeda.
Well, if she's down here, she's
Yeah.
more protected, right? So,
That's true.
it's good. Win-win. Let's go.
Win-win, nice. So you start hopping up the stairs.
Indeed.
Excellent. And touching this stuff, it feels a little bit thicker than normal liquids, whatever is on these stairs, dripping down along it. Underneath your you sort of have, I want to say, webbed fingers and toes, right? Right?
Yes.
All right, so underneath your webbed fingers and toes as you're hopping up, it's a little gross and thicker than you would have expected, water or something to be. But you keep hopping up. Nothing seems to be stopping you, and it's no big deal. It's just a long way up. So
Mine stairs, guys, is kind of syrupy.
Yeah, that's about right. Slippy's up. Slippy's going. Slippy's going up those stairs. What are the rest of you doing? Andromeda is petting Zephyros' hand.
Graves casts one more sort of judgmental look at the swooning, and then she'll follow Slippy up.
Clanking, 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 all the way up. Cool. Anybody else headed up?
Yeah. I like kind of motion for Andromeda. Come on.
Yeah, I'm totally going up there. I had a great time last time. I don't know why you guys are feeling weird about it.
Are
This is
you
awesome.
leaving Zephyros, or are you going to help him up there? He is really shaky. Not pale, because what is your equivalent of pale? Whatever that shade is, he's that shade.
Almost white, maybe. Yeah, I mean pale. Sure.
Okay, so he's pale. So he's not looking too good, and you're either going to have to leave him here at the bottom of the stairs, or you're going to have to help him up.
I'm gonna help him.
Okay, so you have his arm over your shoulders as you are lifting him up the stairs. Perfect.
You sure you don't leave him in the haunted house area there while he's feeling tired? He could have a lay down.
I'm
Little
sure.
nap.
Thanks.
A reminder, does not get a full share.
Reminder. He of course is pleased as punch to have his arm over your shoulders and to be helped up by you.
Yeah.
And with him being a little woozy, all he's doing is going on and on about how wonderful this is and how wonderful you are in your ear the whole time.
It's actually probably a good thing because it's keeping the stairs going. So let him babble.
There you go. Shishina, are you headed up?
Yeah, reluctantly. I'm kind of grumbling.
Are you headed up in front of Andromeda and Zephyros? Because they're probably going slower than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm not waiting for him.
Okay. So do you wear shoes, Andromeda? Andromeda. Shishina?
No, I do not.
Yeah, this on your feet feels really weird and pretty grody, like whatever you're stepping through. Again, like same thing with Slippy, thicker than you would have expected, like sort of viscous. Just a weird, uncomfortable sensation.
So I would like to wait for Andromeda and Annoying Dude, and I'm going to reach out and rip off his sleeve and tear it in two and then tie it on my feet.
Hey, my arm's cold.
I could have given you some fabric for. You didn't have to do that.
Yes,
Why
I did.
is my arm cold?
That was kind of awesome. Good job, Shishina.
I don't understand.
Shh, it's fine. Your arm's not cold. It could be not feeling much at all if you wanted.
Oh,
I think Andromeda actually gives you a look at that, Shishina, that you have never seen on Andromeda's face before.
Back off.
You like him.
Are you going? Are we going to do this thing?
Nice.
After I have drugs, we're going to do this thing.
Ladies. We're really going to fight over the purple dude? Really?
I'm not sure we were going to fight.
Oh no, we wouldn't have fought.
Oh shit, you would just transport me somewhere. I like you! And then I will go up the stairs.
So Slippy and Graves, you're in the front as you're clumping your way up.
Yep. Hey, Etheldrita, do you ever get rid of that baby Otyug we found in the sewers of Apollonia? Man, I miss Trips. It's really adorable.
Yeah, the church didn't really approve.
What? Can't have pets in the church? No wonder you went rogue.
Yeah.
Can't have frosting either, apparently.
Like in self-denial class.
Oh. Well,
I'm sure they gave her a good home.
Was it her? How did you find out? I looked all over Trips. Just an assumption based on the eating? Something?
Based on the otherwise pretty obvious lack of anatomy.
Ha ha! I guess that the Peni might, yeah. Would they have 3 Otyugs?
I don't know. Shishina might know.
Shishina, do you know much about Otyug gender?
What are those words coming out of your mouth? Are those real words? I think he's making that out.
Well, gender's a real word. That one I can guarantee.
So, Slippy.
Tina just keeps that look on her face for a while.
Slippy, you are the first one to actually go through the clouds, right? And so coming up, it's that weird thing, right, where you actually walk and pass through the clouds, and they're just clouds. They're wet and thick and humid. But then somehow you can walk out atop them as you reach the very top. And you step out off of the spiral staircase, moving through the mist onto the substantial cloud beneath you. And there's still that weird viscous fluid flowing down from the top of the cloud onto the stairs. And you are the first one to get a real glimpse of what it might be. You spot around you, strewn amid glowing crystals and floating like orbs of light, countless bodies, multicolored, lovely little bodies, but they're all ripped apart, torn up, gashes in their skin, lying strewn about, no order, and their blood flowing from them has formed this massive river that has gone all the way down the stair.
Whoa. That's really gross. Hey guys, hustle up. There's some really interesting thing to see.
Is it drugs?
Oh no, not quite yet. What are the bodies? Of what? Bodies of what?
Well, have you ever seen a cloud sprite before, Slippy?
Oh, they're picture book ones.
Kind of look like those.
Oh,
Kind
man.
of look like those. You're up next, Graves, and you come up as Slippy sort of taking in the scene. And yes, these are absolutely the cloud sprites lying strewn about, ripped apart, right? Like, just utterly massacred.
They were.
I am arming myself.
Were they alive when you left, Ethelred?
Surprisingly, yes.
Just checking.
Are you looking around, Slippy?
Well, yeah, I was for a second before the bodies. I was thinking if I could see my bog from here, but obviously not.
Did you want to discern realities?
Sure. I will discern some realities. I will hold on, Rogers. Roll the dice. Okay. Let's see. That discerning realities is a wisdom thing, right?
It is indeed.
All right. So I've got I am averagely wise. So it's just a straight 2d6. Roll them dice. That is a XP. That is an experience point right there.
It is. It absolutely is. And for your trouble. So, you sort of move forward away from the stair to go poke amongst the bodies, sort of get a better idea of what's going on. And, you lift one of them up a little bit, and it's limp and tattered and cold to the touch. And, that weird, viscous, rainbowy material with that vaguely pearlescent sheen comes across on your hand as you lift it up, and then there's sort of a weird moment, a split second, when you notice something that shouldn't be. You lift up the arm of the body, and the shadow of the arm does not move with the arm. And you have that split second of, huh?
Whoa. Grace, the shadow does not move. Check it out. I'll kind of move the hand a little bit more.
That shadow snakes out and reaches into your leg. And a horrible, nightmarish cold starts tearing into your body, Slippy. Like, as if somebody has just speared you with a glacier.
Oh.
I knew I had this page open for a reason. Go ahead and roll damage, please. D6 plus 1.
D6 plus 1.
Ignores
Okay.
armor.
Ignores armor.
Wait, sure. No, it does not. It does not ignore armor. Go ahead.
Huh. Okay. Bring it on, then. Yeah, I laugh at that. That's no biggie. D6 plus 1. I happen to have 4 armor. You know why? Because I have tough hide, I have iron hide, and some armor. So that's kind of scary, but it didn't ignore it, so not as scary. Just a little fright. Andromeda, hey, you got some work to do up here.
And it leaves frost on top of your armored leg, and this absolutely, it still is not anything you would call pleasant. Like, this is still very, very, this cold, horrible, nightmarish cold. But you aren't hurt by it right this second, but as you sort of stand there trying to pull yourself away, the rest of the shadow pulls itself from under the corpse of the cloud sprite and begins to crawl up your body. At this point, Graves, you can see it clearly, right? There are lights still around, glowing orbs and crystals that are, there's no way the shadow could possibly actually be there with those lights. And I believe that next up would be Aliana, right, cresting the staircase in time to see this shadow crawling up Slippy.
She does it look like the shadows that were attacking in the alternate world?
Sort of. This is clearly the shadow of a cloud sprite, right? It has the shape of a cloud sprite. But in form and nature, it does seem definitely familiar and similar.
Then yeah, she'll try the same tactic that worked before and just hit a really high-pitched note and see if that works to dispel it or something. So that would be Metal Hurlant.
Yes, indeed. Go for it.
Hey, awesome. That is a 9. No, sorry, con. That is a 6. Poopies.
Kind of like a 9.
I was thinking charisma. No, wait, hold on. No, it is a 9, because you roll with charisma. It said con. Wait.
I see, yeah.
No, I do roll with con, okay.
I'm checking.
Yeah.
The Bard on the actual character sheet taken from the website, Metal Hurlant, choose a target and roll plus con.
Okay, then 6. I failed.
Okay. Alright, so you get an experience point.
Yep.
Yeah, so this, like, you're playing your shattering note, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the waves of sound erupt from your It Goes to 11 guitar to blast this shadow off of Slippy. When there is a screech from above, and just this cascade of pure darkness pours from the sky above and, like, catches that blast of sound and smothers it. And you look up, and against the night sky, against the stars above, right, it's difficult to make it out because it's dark, but you can make out the shape of giant, massive flapping wings, and you can make out the shape of enormous talons and a tail and a long serpentine neck. And you hear a horrible screech as the shadow dragon circles above.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so, Slippy, that shadow's still, like, crawling up your body.
Yeah, I gotta hop the heck out of the way. I'm gonna run away.
So what are you doing? You're just trying to leap out of its grasp?
Yeah. I'm just gonna leap out of this grasp. I can leap like feet.
Go for it. That sounds to me like Dex.
I think that sounds like Dex to me. I've got a +2 mod, so here we go. All right, that is a 6 plus 2. That's an 8.
Perfect. Okay. So you can leap away from this shadow, and like it's trying to hold on to you in a weird, horrible, viscous, clingy, gluey way. But you can sort of pull yourself away, but that armor that's covering and coating your legs, it's going to keep with it. If you do this full leap, right?
So if I leap with incredible strength and alacrity, then I lose my greaves. That's
Yes.
the word, right, Shishina? Greaves?
Yes.
Okay. I just wear the stuff. I just told him, give me the full set. So.
Are you cool with that, or are you going to stay with the shadow and let it stay on you, but keep your leg armor?
Well, this is kind of a PG-13/R, so I'm okay with a little bit of nudity. So yes, I will leave the greaves behind.
Perfect. All right. So it keeps your greaves and like frosts them over as it pulls them down, and you leap away and hop backwards. As you do, you see more of these shadows pulling themselves out from underneath the cloud sprite corpses. So Graves, you've got a really good eye full of all this. Shishina, you're up next. And of course, Andromeda and Shishina coming up the stairs, you absolutely heard that terrifying screech echoing down. So Shishina, you get up there next in time to see Aliana probably doing that oh shit. Her hands on her guitar as that massive shape circles above. I actually quickly want to know what Graves is doing right now.
Graves is thinking saying because Graves doesn't actually think. Well, this was a bad idea, and she's actually going to take a defensive stance now that Slippy has pulled free.
Okay. Are you trying to defend Slippy? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Go for it. So this is you like standing to defend Slippy specifically.
Yep.
Go for it.
Waiting for dice to load. It is a good thing. I am good at this. Stand in defense is somewhere here on my character sheet.
It is.
Defend is
It's gone.
so it's a 7. No, sorry, 8. Same difference.
Excellent. So you get to hold 1, and so long as you stand in defense, when the thing you defend is attacked, you can spend the hold to choose options, like having the damage or open up the attacker to an ally or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you are standing ready. Are you? I mean, it's fine to say in general, but where are your eyes? Are they on the dragon, or are they in the horde of shadows?
Right now, the horde of shadows, because they were the things that just attacked him.
Cool. Okay. So and again, I'm perfectly comfortable with it. Like, I'm not saying you can't defend against the dragon, but yeah. So that's where you're focused on, and that's where your attention is.
Correct.
So Shishina, you pull up there, and you see that scene of these shadows pulling themselves out from under cloud sprite corpses as the shadow dragon circles above.
I'm tempted to do something really dumb.
I feel like that's followed up by doing the thing.
Oh, why not? I would like to sing an ode to death.
Yay! All right.
Because that can't go wrong.
Not at all. Death likes you. Assuming that the little star version of you has not broken up with Death yet, because then that might be awkward. All right. So what does this look like when you sing an ode to Death?
Well, so Shishina, with her lack of armor and instead her silken cloth, actually starts dancing, kind of like she did when we met Death before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little lower to the ground. It's a little shorter, and as she does it, she's wailing like a banshee.
Nice. I like that. That's awesome. All right. So this is the move taken from the anthology, from the Indie Plus anthology. When you sing an ode to Death on All Hallow Night, roll plus charisma. Rock
All
that
right.
shit.
8.
Okay, so what happens on an 8?
Death will come to me and will ask a boon of me, and I can ask her for one as well.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So amidst the screams of the shadow dragon come the screams of Shishina. As she is is this a thing your people do? Is this, like, just you felt compelled to do this at this moment? Like, why did this occur to you?
This is totally a thing my people do.
Perfect. Okay. Like, I'm about to go into battle against something that's going to kill me.
I will call out to death so she will take notice of me.
That's perfect. Okay. Yeah, and so almost as if out of nowhere, right? Death, as she appeared before, that beautiful woman, like, wearing her proper outfit, she appears on the cloud next to you.
Hey.
You like, could have waited just a little bit longer, and we would have been together anyway.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. But before then, I'd really like to slay these things in your honor. Because no one gives you enough credit for what you do, right?
You'd like to slay these things in my honor.
Yes. And maybe I will fail. Maybe they will send me to meet you tonight.
Okay. I can assist you with that. I will grant you that boon. And she's speaking very calmly, to be clear, while the dragon is still circling and in exchange, since I still have something that is in many ways a reflection of you, who you are affects what she is.
Oh.
And I'd like to see that grow a little bit.
Oh, I am so uncomfortable right now. Oh, shit. Grow in what way?
Well, if you would actually like to honor me, truly and utterly, then you must understand life as much as death. I want you to experience what these creatures, she gestures to the dead cloud sprites, experienced.
No. Can't I just, like, kill a lot of things for you? I will sing your praises and talk of your beauty. I can kill all the different things so then you can know all their deaths.
She actually holds out her hand and, like, puts it on your cheek, and she's like, you will never be a true champion of death until you have experienced life.
Son of a bitch. Fine. I will have all the feelings, motherfucker.
You know, most people do not feel like they're being tortured to death.
To have
because of feelings. Just saying.
Tina, killing is easier for her.
Apparently.
Okay. So the way I want to interpret this then actually may have more long-term changes in terms of, like, who Shishina is. It might be worth talking about, for instance, what your alignment becomes. I think that your alignment may change if you accept this, right?
Yeah,
right?
That makes sense.
I think who you are changes.
Fuck.
We don't have to necessarily decide on that right this second, so we can talk about that more. But I think that's where this is going. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. With that said, there's absolutely this moment where, like, she just touches your forehead very gently and kindly, and essentially the essence of the cloud sprites, their feelings, their emotions, their lives, all of them for this moment pours into you, Shishina. And it's a little overwhelming, but for this moment, right here and right now, you are basically the avatar of their slain spirits.
Awesome.
And it means your sword is made to kill these shadows of them. And the shadows start to quail away from you, right? And to the rest of you, right? What do you look like, Shishina? What do you look like as this happens?
I am walking forward, and I may not be entirely touching the ground, and I'm crying.
Yeah. Because here's the other side of this, right? The only thing you're seeing as well, in addition, all of these feelings pouring through you, but in your mind over and over and over and over and over and over again, replays that first moment, right? When you killed the one person that you regret killing. and their face over and over and over.
Wait.
And over.
Purple. Sorry.
No, please. That was fantastic.
Yeah, so Shishina, you're floating forward, right? Like towards the shadows. And again, they quail from you. They're pulling back a bit from Shishina. Andromeda, you've crested the stairs at this point with Zephyros to see that scene of Shishina floating forward towards the shadows who are pulling away from her, and the shadow dragon still circling above. And Zephyros looks around, and then he looks back at you, and he's like, I don't want to be here. Can we go home?
Just give me 5 minutes. We'll be fine. Why don't you sit down over... Nope, that's covered in cloud sprite blood. How about over here?
I really want to go home, Andromeda.
I know. I gotta take care of a thing. I'm sorry. And she'll take out the warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's about to hit a dragon with it, which can't go wrong at all.
Not at all. Not even a little bit. Alright, so you pull out the warhammer as you set down Zephyros in the least cloud sprite blooded place, but it's still plenty of cloud sprite blood.
Yeah.
The dragon sweeps by, and its tail comes hurtling, scraping across the cloud itself to strike at Graves and Slippy, specifically. Graves standing in defense. Slippy, probably yourself, you are ready for some level of action, too, even though you've had your leg armor torn from you. And the dragon's tail seems spiked and terrible as it drags forward towards you. So, Graves, you're standing in defense. If you want to spend that hold, you totally can. Alternatively, you can get the hell out of the way.
I am totally going to spend my hold. I will basically draw its attack to give Slippy a +1 for it against the attacker.
Okay. So you are going to, knock it to the side or give Slippy an opening to strike at its underbelly.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So Slippy, there's Graves. This is probably a maneuver you've done before, right? This is probably some trick you've pulled in previous adventures.
Oh yeah, but I was busy asking him hey, Etheldrita, I think we need to cry at it. See, that's what Shishina's doing. Let's cry.
To be absolutely fair here, Graves is pretty sure that is Shishina's god because she has no idea who Death is, and it only makes sense.
Of course.
Yeah.
And now she's very angry and wants to stab something. Because her god comes when called.
All Hallow Night is special, but yeah.
It's okay. She's just gonna, stab the hell out of this dragon. It'll be okay.
So you are stabbing. You have a mace at this point.
Yeah, but I'm doing the defend move, I think. Which,
right.
Yeah.
So you're batting the tail.
Right.
To give Slippy that chance to attack its underbelly.
Right.
So Slippy, what are you doing? You have +1 forward against the dragon because of Graves' maneuver batting its tail away.
Okay, well this is going to be easy because this dragon only has 16 hit points. I mean, it's a joke. Anyway, alright, so I'm going to grab into my pouch and whip out my tongue spike and attack it with the tongue spike because it's awesome. Perfect. Did I mention that the DM created this weapon, guys? Did I mention that? No. That's helpful.
The DM giveth. Or the Olb, I prefer. So you are hacking and slashing. Go for it.
Okay, great. All right, I've got a +2 on the hack and the slash. That's my thing. Here we go.
Yeah, this should be hack and slash, I think.
And I get a +1 forward, so that would be an 11.
Bam.
That is an 11. I will look at my options. I'm going to take some more damage, right? Or no? Oh, yeah, I'm going to deal my damage and avoid their attack. And my option, I can choose to do 1 + 1d6 damage. So I'm going to do that. So I figure if I max out my damage, I'll take out every dragon in the world.
So you're going to do + 1d6, but it means you do expose yourself to its attack. Is that cool?
Well, yeah.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
Excellent. All right, so go ahead and roll your damage. Plus 1d6.
Blow it. Also, I just want to let you know that I have scent of blood, which means that my next attack, not this one, but my next attack, I'll get plus 1d4. Just letting you know. Not that it's going to survive this one attack. Just playing ahead though.
Love it.
That is 3 damage. 3 damage. I want to repeat. Out of a d6 and a d10, I have rolled a 3. You're welcome. That's how it's done.
Slippy, conquering hero. Okay. Yeah, I would like you to roll for its attack on you. So Graves knocks its tail to the side. Slippy, your tongue shoots out, rakes along its bottom, and it's a ball. First of all, you can't help but taste a little bit of it, and it tastes nightmarish and cold and disgusting and like hell itself as your tongue touches it. But your blade scrapes into it, and you get yanked along just a little bit before you can pull your tongue spike out of it. And that means that its tail catches you as you pull free, its spikes ripping into you. I would like you to roll for the damage it deals to you. Roll 2d12, take the highest, and add 5, please.
You are... Wow. That's insane. Okay, I'm gonna... Is any of this armor piercing? Do I get my armor against all this?
It has 4 armor piercing.
Jeez and crackers. Okay, here we go. Take the best of the 2d12. That is a 7. Plus 5 is 12. 4 of that is armor piercing. I really have trouble with this armor piercing thing. I have armor 4. Does that mean that my armor did nothing?
It means that it bypasses the first 4 points of armor on whatever it hits. So yes.
So all my armor. So
Yep.
I take all 12 points of damage.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so Slippy gets caught and like his blood is spilling out of those wounds that the spikes carved into him as he gets spun to the side. The dragon sweeps past, and now it lands on the far edge of the cloud. Like with all those shadows in between you and it, the shadows that Shashina was approaching and moving towards that were moving away from her. And as it lands, you see something you didn't really notice before. It looks like, first of all, there's a thing around its neck. And second of all, there's somebody riding it. Yeah. And you watch as this figure, shrouded in their own darkness, like, gets off of the Shadow Dragon and just stands on the other end of the cloud. Can't really see a face at this distance, but they seem to be looking at you.
Whoa, hey, we got a rider. We got a rider over here. Graves got a rider. Shishino got a rider. I don't think we're getting any dust tonight, so let's just try to survive, guys.
Yeah. So let's see here. Shishina, you were floating towards the shadows, and they were fleeing from you. As this rider dismounts, the shadows seem to actually, like, rally, essentially. They hold fast in the face of your advance, even as you float towards them. What are you doing?
I will raise my sword and point at the figure and say, "You! I am going to kill you for what you have done here tonight. For all of the innocent blood you spilled, you are going to die horribly, but not as horribly as I want because the fucking cloud sprites
Because
in
I
my
have
head."
feels. Oh, that's amazing. This is your move, right?
Yeah, I'm calling him out.
Hit it.
Let's see. Work with me, computer. So plus con. All right. That's a 6.
Mark XP. Yeah, you hear a laugh come from the figure. And it's a horrifyingly familiar laugh. And eventually a woman's voice issues from underneath the hood and says, You've already tried to kill me once. It didn't take. And she pulls back her hood, and you recognize the face of the woman you knew as the leader of the Assassin's Guild. But her eyes are jet black, and veins of shadow crawl underneath her skin. I was already on my way to something greater when you decided to try to take my life. And thanks to you, I arrived. You're welcome to take your swing again. Come. And she moves her hands, and the shadows like part, like waves, like Moses parting the sea, right? And she just gestures to you. Please. I welcome it.
I need my little Doom Bear to fidget with during this, apparently. All right. Fuck, I can't really not do this. I will roar and raise my sword and just charge at her like a madwoman.
And
Still crying.
You come charging at her, your sword swings, and it's glowing with the power of the Cloud Sprite spirits. And you know, I'm telling you with confidence, this would cut through those shadows and burn them away into nothingness. They would be left just as gone entirely before your might. And as the sword cleaves, it cuts into her shoulder and passes through her torso and at the other side, and nothing.
What do you mean, nothing? That was... So it went through her.
It went through her. And she's just standing there smiling at you.
Motherfucker.
She says, now, it's my turn.
Fuck.
And she pulls the sword out, and whatever's in you resonates with this sword. And there's this horrifying moment where you realize that, this sword is somehow made from the Cloud Sprite essence, from the Cloud Sprite dust itself. This blade is this glowing, shimmering rainbow blade that she pulls from beneath the folds of her own darkness. And she comes forward to strike at you. What do you do?
I have so few options here. Son of a bitch. I'm not sure that there's anything I can do, but just I mean, you can't stand in defense of yourself, can you?
Nope. You can get the hell out of the way. You can also try and engage her right on. Totally.
Well, this is Shishina, and although she is completely rattled, it's kind of instinct. She's going to hack and slash, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Totally, do it. So go ahead and roll for your hack and slash. Yeah.
Motherfucker. All right. That's a 7.
Excellent. Okay. So just to be clear, the way I'm treating her a little bit, she is weirdly incorporeal, right? Hurting her is... She's not, and also this is a part of the issue. She's only halfway real, it seems, at the moment, okay. Right? She doesn't seem wholly here when you're up close and facing her. Your sword passed through her, and that is as much a function of, you can't hurt her as maybe she can't do as much to you, either. But her sword is a different story. And so you are striking at her and fending back and forth. Go ahead and roll your damage, and I think this is mostly about destroying either the part of her that can hold the sword or knocking the sword from her grasp more than it is about her.
That is 8 points of damage.
Excellent. And your thing ignores all armor, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually, it's 10 damage.
All right, perfect. However, she does get hits in on you. So this is like this epic clash of the two of you, right? And she's swinging her sword, and you're blocking her, and you are cutting like at her wrists eventually. It's just an automatic thing, right? You start cutting at where you think you can do the damage. She has to somehow be physical to hold the sword, because the sword is real in a way that she isn't. And so by cutting at her wrists, you seem to be disintegrating whatever solidity she has around it. You can see the sword sort of like faltering in her grasp. It's not totally free yet. It's not fallen free of her yet, but it is definitely looser held, and she's having a hard time holding her fingers around it. At the same time, that sword, every time it touches you, you are almost laid low by just the sheer anguish you feel. It's not pain. It's not like physical pain. It doesn't cut you. It just brings that the worst feelings you've ever had in your entire life. Helplessness, fear, sadness. They crush you for a split second. But it's enough to like leave you gasping for air afterward. So go ahead, please, and take D10. And this is actual, like, mental damage almost. Like, you are getting messed up by these emotions ripping through you.
That is 4 points of damage.
Okay. So you're holding your own. But this is still, especially with all those cloud sprites in you, this is still as deadly as anything. Alright, so the rest of you are watching Shishina engaged in this deadly, terrible duel with this nightmare shadow lady person that you thought you killed. The shadow dragon is on the other end of the cloud and is hanging back as it gazes at you with these jet black, glistening eyes. And the shadows on either side of this duel are also holding still. That does not at all mean you got to. So what I want to know now, Aliana...
Yeah, please don't.
What are you up to, Aliana?
Aliana is trying to assist Shishina. So I'm still playing the lute and trying to give her a bit of a little more oomph in her swings.
That's awesome. Okay, so you are like, what song are you playing? What song are you playing? There's the right answer here.
With a little help from my friends.
I'm good at that. I was gonna say you're playing her favorite bawdy tune, but you know, whatever.
No. She doesn't play that one anymore.
Never stoop to that level.
Never. So that's a 12.
And this is your arcane art? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
What effects were you
I
going
have
for?
2 effects. So I was going for granting bonus damage, which I have Vicious Cacophony, so that's an extra 2d4.
Perfect.
And the other effect was Healing Song, which gives her 2d8 healing.
Perfect. Okay, so Shishina, you are bolstered by the music Aliana plays, and it's like I mean, the power that death has poured into you as well. Like the emotions you're feeling only enhance this even further. I think it's appropriate to say within the fiction, I'm perfectly comfortable with this being, you know, the 2d4 damage that you would get in addition is actually 2d6 in this case.
Cool.
Because you've been bolstered by this deal you made with death. All right. So, I mean, as Shishina is engaged in the duel, Aliana is fueling musical magic into her. Andromeda, what are you up to?
I think that I am. Do I want to play Portal games with dragons, or do I want to swing a warhammer at an angry-looking chick? They both seem like such appealing options. I think as much as I really want to play with the warhammer, I'm playing Portal games with the dragon, because why would I not?
I thought that it was hammer time.
It's
It
always
will
a
be.
difficult
It will be. What am I doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh, so I have vacuum effect now. When I fold space, I can create a vacuum. choose close to one of the portal entrances. Does the dragon count as anyone?
That's amazing.
I guess we're gonna find out by how well I roll.
I'm looking. Yeah, I think that I'm comfortable with saying you can go for it. Now, you can only make these portals within sight at this point, right? Because of your powers? Anywhere you can see.
Do anything and anywhere I can see.
Cool.
Yes.
You absolutely need to make the roll for your fold space. And where are you trying to suck the dragon to?
Inside the mountain. Like, I'm trying to point a portal into the mountain.
So, like, aimed at the mountain, so it'll come hurtling through it and slam into the mountain.
Yes, sure.
Perfect. All right, go for it. That is, I believe, for your fold space, wisdom?
Yep. 679.
Okay. Either only one person can pass through safely, gosh, like you care, or the fold is unsafe to use for some reason. The GM will tell you why. Yeah. So, I think that the portal, you create it works perfectly. And the dragon gets like vacuumed up, and it's a big, powerful dragon. The real issue is just that it was taken by surprise, and its claws scrabble at the cloud, but there's no cloud to actually hold on to.
Right.
And it gets sucked into the portal and spat out, aimed at the mountain. And that's a fair distance away too, right? Like you've now thrown it far enough away that you've got plenty of distance, so the dragon's not getting back anytime soon. The issue, however, is that as soon as you cast this portal, right, the thing around your throat, little shadowy tendrils start to come out of it. It's dangerous because you just opened up a portal right around like some of the strongest creatures that are attached to whatever's in your throat in this world right now. And those little tendrils start poking into your neck.
Oh.
And immediately it starts trying to like get into your head. So tell me what you're doing to not let it in, unless you want to let it in.
I do not want to let it in. I mean, I don't know, like, what physically I could do.
Sure, you can tell me mentally.
Concentrate on, not letting it get in. Actually, okay, so what I'm doing is, like, I'm like, trying to keep it out of my head, but then, like, my hand reaches into my pocket, and I bring out Basil, and I'm focusing on Basil.
That's awesome.
So that I don't fall to the shadow god
That's awesome.
thing.
I like that. Okay, so go ahead. I think that is a defy danger, and it sounds like wisdom.
Okay.
And you're focusing all your attention on Basil as like the source of light to keep it away. I can't wait until you become a paladin of Basilides, but we'll get there.
This is mean. That is a 12.
Like I said, we'll get there. No, that's perfect. You pull out Basil, and the little tendrils poking into your skin go away. And you feel like this calm, reassuring presence in your mind. Like this essence of light coming in and essentially being like, no, not while I'm around. Backing you up. Right alongside every bit of strength you exert to push back this strange thing. And so with that, like the thing at your throat is still cold and sort of still more upsetting than usual, but it is held back. At the same moment, however, the attention of the assassin that Shashina is fighting is drawn towards the portal you quickly cast, drawn towards your throat, drawn towards Andromeda and Zephyros lying on the ground some distance away from Andromeda in the blood. And you can see her eyes angled right onto Zephyros. So Graves, I want to quickly know what you're doing in the midst of all this madness as Andromeda's vacuumed dragon away. What are you doing? Shashina's engaged in this duel. Aliana is bolstering Shashina with magical might. You and Slippy. Slippy's not actually looking too good, right? He just got ripped apart.
Right, that's just what I was going to say. I was like, I'm kind of just going to stay here, because that looked like it hurt a lot. And, you know, Shashina's going to do what Shashina's going to do.
So what are you doing? Are you tending to Slippy?
Yeah, not that I have anything to tend to Slippy with, but, you know, I can make vague healing motions that don't actually do any healing.
Yeah, can you lay hands on me again like you did back in the old days? That would be great, Etheldrita.
No.
What?
You could try.
What? Come on. I'm hurting here. Shadow ripped my pants off, and a dragon kind of ripped me along my leg. See, my muscly leg is kind of bleedy.
Yeah, but if it were up to me, you know, it would still work. But I'm not the one who decided to stop answering people who are calling for me, so...
I have faith in you, Etheldrita. Why don't you give him a call right now? I've heard the special things happen on All Hallow Night.
It's not gonna work.
Okay, I'll just bleed over here then. Probably mix in with the rainbow sprite guy blood. Probably turn me into some kind of weird cloud demon because you didn't help me.
Oh, it's terrible.
Slippy the fighter. Jewish mother.
Okay, if I do this, you will stop bringing up my lack of paladininess. Okay?
I will stop bringing up your belief that you're a lack of paladininess. I think he's a little more forgiving. I think you can make it work. You guys can work it out.
You've never met him. Just stop talking about it, or you will lay there and bleed out.
I will, and this is difficult for my kind. Hold my tongue.
Oh, the pain! The pain! So Graves, what do you do?
So I have a move called Sacrifice. When you touch someone and make a demand of them, which in this case is stop bringing this up, if they do what you ask, I get to take a debility and choose one. I'm choosing they're being healed for half of my current HP, which is 13.
Oh, wow. What debility are you taking?
I will take whatever one falls under charisma, because I'm getting grouchy.
And to be explicit, this is not you at all calling upon Basilides. This is actually you still relying on your own internal strength, right?
Right.
That one is scarred, is the debility you're looking
Thank you.
for.
That fits so much. I just wrote debility -1.
So what does Slippy see?
Are you asking Flippy or me?
No, I'm asking you. Yeah, what happens to Graves as she takes his wounds and pain away and in turn becomes scarred?
Ooh. So I think the this totally fits with the scarred thing. The wound that Slippy took probably kind of, because it was such a serious wound, it probably hit him kind of on the shoulder and up the side of his face.
Yeah.
And so there's this kind of weird moment where it's almost kind of reminiscent of Basilides, where there's that same color kind of glow, that golden glow that would be Basilides' intervention. But instead of just clearing up the wound completely, it kind of crawls off of him and crawls up the side of her face.
Yeah. That's great. Without calling upon vacillations. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
You douche.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Slippy, your wounds are gone.
That, well, I wouldn't say gone. It's like half of 13. Do I round up?
No. Her hit points were 26, right?
Yep. So you get
You
13
heal.
points back.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. That's amazing, Etheldrita. I'm gonna go. Wait, okay, so we have Andromeda doing some crazy stuff with the dragon, and then there's some kind of mega like anime thing going on with the Shashina and the backstory laden character I don't know about. Are there any other enemies of opportunity for a wandering fighter?
There are hordes of shadows on either side of the epic duel between Shashina and the anime assassin's leader.
I will wade into faceless minions and roll dice.
Tis our way. Excellent. All right. Why don't you go ahead and do a... Well, so is this about just trying to rip them apart, kill them, or is this about trying to do anything else, like hold them off?
I think we should get the heck out of here. I'm not seeing any dust coming my way, so I'm pretty much done. I'm ready to get down the goopy stairs and finish up this waste of 1,000 coin.
So you wading in is all about you just trying to make a way out, basically, or trying to make
Pretty
sure
much.
Okay, cool. So that's not really necessarily hack and slash, because this is not you trying to deal damage. This is about you like holding them off or cutting a way through. So I'm gonna say that I'm comfortable with this being a defy danger with strength.
Yeah, I kind of see it like the Boromir thing, except I'm not gonna get totally mauled by the hand face orc dude.
Yeah, about that. Let's see your roll.
Okay, defy danger. I'm sorry, what was the stat there?
Well, actually, I'm going between strength and con, because con is enduring. So it actually sounds like it might be con, where this is about you enduring as you're holding off the horde of shadows.
I'm quite endearing, so we'll go with the +1 modifier from the con.
Go for it.
Go. That is a 5, and I'm getting another experience point as I try to wade off the things. All right.
All right. So, yeah, about that. The shadows engulf Slippy. And, I mean, the rest of you see this. So Slippy is fighting like a friggin' demon frog. And, like, cutting into the shadows as best he can. They're all semi-incorporeal, so it's difficult to, like, get any ground. And you can watch as frost is being left on his armor and on his skin as they touch him. And he's fighting like mad, but they are surrounding him and bearing him down upon the cloud. So, Slippy, I think for you, you should go ahead and take a whole bunch of damage. Why don't you roll 5d6, take the highest, and add 6 to it.
Do I get any armor?
You get your armor, yeah.
All right, rock on. Here we go. Woo! 6 + 6, that's a 12. Minus my 4 armor, that is 8. That is pretty painful.
And they did rip apart your armor before, so that should probably be 3.
Oh, you're right.
All right, so I mean, Slippy is like not going down yet, but they are really surrounding him, hurting him. He's not in a good place to get out of there. Like, he was trying this holding action, and the bad news is means the shadows have just swarmed him and are bringing him down. Shashina, you are bolstered by the magic of Aliana as you are still caught in this duel, and you see Slippy being torn apart by the horde of shadows behind you. And in front of you, she remains. You can engage her. You can try and tear the sword from her grasp, maybe reduce her into complete incorporeality. Or you can save Slippy. And remember, you have all the feels.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, like, so with me having all the feels, how would the cloud sprites feel about this situation?
I mean, they're creatures of passion, and so inciting your own passion of anger and hatred against her, while it's not really a cloud sprite thing, it also totally fits as the enmeshed hybrid creature you are right now. In terms of which option, though, like, that's the thing. It's in many ways your choice. Where do you choose to direct their passion? Do you choose to direct it at saving someone or killing someone?
I'm motherfucking Shishina. I'm gonna kill that bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, Slippy.
It's the dangers of paying someone up front.
All right. Go ahead and roll. This is another. You are up front, attacking her, engaged with her. Hack and slash away, and remember, you get an additional plus 2d6 damage, I believe, thanks to Aliana.
Yes, which is a beautiful thing. All right. That's a 9.
Go ahead and roll your damage. Plus 2d6.
So many dice. Oh, yes, yes. Let's see. That is 19 damage.
Oh my god. Okay. She still does harm you as well, and I believe before
That's
I said
fine.
D10.
Yeah.
With this sword that brings to mind, like, and in this case now, right, like what it's bringing to mind, what it's making you see is horrible images of Slippy getting torn apart and murdered, and you experiencing his death cry over and over and over.
Oh, fuck.
How much damage did you take there?
I took 9 points of damage.
Yeah. But in the battle between you, with your sword blazing with the light of the cloud sprites and bolstered with Aliana's strength, one final swing of your sword cuts through her wrist, and again, it's like she's not there, but there's a moment where you sunder her connection, and her sword falls from her grip, falls to the cloud below, and she looks at it like with a little bit of surprise, and then she looks back at you, and she just starts, well done. Well done. And she starts backing away. She says, well, this didn't go as well as I could have hoped. But the good news is this won't be the last time we meet.
I come after her and I'm like, get back here, you bitch! Show yourself completely. I want to wear your skin.
She says, I wish I could. I wish I could, but tonight is a special night. I will await the time when I truly can come back, and when we can truly meet face to face. I think I'll enjoy it. If you'd like, all you need to do to ensure it is get your friend over there to listen to the thing in her neck.
The thing in her... And I assume at this point I can see that she indicated Andromeda?
Oh yeah, 100%. Regardless,
Nope. I'm saying this is Shishina.
we'll be watching her. And I'm very grateful to know that there's another one just like her. Yeah. Perhaps if she won't do it, he will. It's been a very productive evening for me. Farewell. And she, like, actually steps off the cloud and just falls and vanishes into the darkness. The shades, just to set it, the shades are still eating away at Slippy. What did you want to do, Shishina? Sorry.
I would have tried to lunge for her, like to stop her from, like, ah!
Oh, totally. You reach for her, and your hand passes into her, and you feel that horrifying coldness as your fingers grasp for her. Protected by the cloud sprites, it doesn't do anything to you. But she was barely here to begin with. This was a fluke of All Hallow Night that allowed her to appear. Whatever she is, she's not of this world anymore. the shadows are surging forward as they continue to like spill over Slippy and pull him under. They're surging forward towards Zephyros in particular, who's still way too groggy to do anything. Andromeda, you see them coming, and of course Slippy is still being borne under, and they are pouring towards Zephyros. What are you doing?
I am going to swing this very large warhammer at the shadows and try and destroy them once and for all.
I attack the darkness.
I do. Well, okay, so if I open
it's
another portal, it's just making more shadows.
That's true. Go for it. Attack, and I believe that would be hack and slash, unless you are attempting to defend Zephyros.
No, I'm trying to attack.
Okay, hack and slash. Because you are using your gravity hammer, go ahead and roll plus wisdom.
Sweet. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so you deal your damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against you. Yeah. You go ahead and roll your damage against the shadows.
I do 6 points of damage.
Nice.
You guys, I actually swung a weapon!
Okay.
Here's Haber time.
Doesn't that feel good?
It does. It feels really good.
Uh-huh.
I mean, not all of us can do 19 points of damage, but...
I don't think any of us can do 19 points of damage other than her, so...
Yeah.
So,
I can't normally.
yeah, to be fair, she was
A lot of help.
boosted. So, tell me if this is cool, but I'm going to interpret their attack. Like, they get to make an attack against you is what it says.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell me if this is okay, but it's sort of my interpretation based on the situation, what's most interesting. One of them slips past your hammer, smashing into them. And, like, your hammer is distorting their weird shadows. Mm-hmm. One of them slips past you and passes into Zephyros and disappears.
I have weird feels about that, but okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, there are a whole bunch of shattered shadows before Andromeda, and the rest of them have surrounded Slippy and are like pulling him under. And the Shadow Dragon launched against the mountain has swerved and actually is flying away over the mountain, flying away from the cloud now, actually leaving. What I want to know is, Aliana or Graves, what are you doing, if anything, to save Slippy?
Oh, I'm going in Mesa swinging.
And just trying to free him?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and defy danger, powering through with strength. This is about getting him out, right?
Yep.
Go for it.
8.
Okay. So on that, then you can absolutely wade in, but they all are like clawing and attacking you and hurting you as you get in there. So I think in this case, go ahead and take that same sort of 5d6 plus 6. Take the best of the 5d6. Does not ignore armor. Okay, so you take that much damage, which it should be 12. But you pull Slippy free of the horde of shadows, and you pull him out on the other side. And what do you do now? Aliana, what are you doing? There's still this horde of shadows. Shashina has chased the lady off of the edge. The Shadow Dragon is wheeling away. Aliana, what are you doing?
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna try to just boost Graves now, since she's doing the trying to help Slippy.
Okay. So go ahead and roll for your arcane art, right?
Yep. So where's my dice? There's my dice. That is 7, 8, 9, 10. Woohoo!
Perfect. So that means that she gets both effects. What were the two effects you wanted?
Let's go with bonus damage, so plus 2d4.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time somebody successfully assists them with aid, they get plus 2 instead of plus 1.
Perfect. All right. So, Aliana starts playing her song, and it is bolstering Graves as Graves pulls Slippy free from the horde of shadows. Slippy, your body is cold, but you're still alive, and Graves is freeing you from that nightmare clutch of darkness. Andromeda, you can rush over to Zephyros, who does not seem worse for the wear. And Shashina, you can come back. You're coming back from the edge in time to see that horde of shadows and Slippy getting freed from it, and the rest of your group sort of getting pushed back a little bit towards the stair. What do you do?
Scream like a berserker and run at the shadows.
And of course, they're scared of you because you're still empowered by death for the moment. So I totally think that, like, as you charge at them, they scatter before you as best they can, trying not to get in the way of your sword. Where your sword touches them, they disintegrate. Are you going to try to stay up here, though, and defeat the horde, or are you just trying to carve a path enough for everybody to escape?
I kind of want to kill everything.
Okay. So Shashina is going to stay up here to kill all of the shadows.
Yes.
Attempting to focus, to get them all to pay attention to her, as they are attempting to run from her as well. So I think, actually, in this case, Shashina, in many ways, this is actually about endurance now, right? This is about you staying up here and just fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, and they are getting in shots on you at the same time as you are fighting them, but for the most part, because of that deal you made, that bargain you made with death, they largely cannot stand before you. These are direct shadows of these creatures, and you are imbued with the original creature spirits. They will fall before you. So, go ahead and defy danger with Con. The rest of you, what are you doing?
I'm about to hibernate, so I need to get home. All this cold, freezing me up. I'm gonna hibernate. We need to go. Ephedrita, can we get the heck out of Dodge?
Going seems like a good plan.
Okay.
And I got an 11, by the way.
Of course. Not even a cost. Jeez. All right, so Shashina is left on the cloud fighting the horde of shadows. Are you just fleeing down the stairs, or are you leaping off the side? How are you getting out of here?
Stairs?
Okay.
Stairs are good.
All right, so
Can I grab my pants on the way out?
They are amidst the horde of shadows that Shashina is in the process of dismembering.
Man, those are specially sized.
You can always try to come back for them. Maybe.
Yeah, no. Hey, get my pants on your way out there, Shashina.
You know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, if she takes your pants, she's going to keep them.
Let you lick me.
So, Andromeda, are you helping Zephyros down and out of here, or are you...
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Perfect. So you are fleeing from the cloud as Shashina, in a storm of fury and light, continues to fight the shadows. And Aliana, you are going down with the rest of your team, or are you staying with Shashina?
I kind of feel like she probably shouldn't be left alone, but at the same time, I don't know how much I can actually help.
I'm still crying.
Oh, fuck. And she's crying to boot. Can I just grab her by the scruff of her neck and yank her down the stairs, too?
I have a feeling that might be tough right now because she's in the middle of this giant fury. Shashina, what do you think if Aliana came up to grab you by the scruff of your neck and pull you away from slaying the shadows?
I think you could probably convince me to leave if you appeal to my new emotions. Did I just say that? What the fuck?
Yes, you did. Okay, that would be that. See, Aliana doesn't have problems with feels. Well, okay, we're not gonna get there. So yeah, she like wades in, like swatting stuff as she goes, like claps her hands on your arm and says, "Look, dying here is stupid. Your friends need you more. Let's go."
That would do it.
Aw. And so Aliana pulls Shashina away down the stairs. Okay. I feel like that's a good image on which to end our comic as the Owlbear Scourge comes back down the stairs of love. Yeah. Let us very quickly run through end of session stuff as quickly as we can. So the first part would be choose a bond that you feel is resolved. Ask the player if it's resolved. If they agree, mark XP. Graves, do you have one that you would like to resolve?
Probably, but I'm not going to do it because I don't have brains right now.
Okay. Andromeda, do you have one that you'd like to resolve?
Sure. The one where I have to work at not being disgusted by Slippy because he turns out to be a super awesome guy, actually.
Huh.
Slippy, are you cool with that?
Well, yeah.
All right, Andromeda, you get an experience point. Aliana, do you have one you'd like to resolve?
Nah, not really.
Okay. Slippy.
Oh man. Well, so this thing about Shashina in the dungeon, I totally had it wrong. She can like magical girl anime superpower, and I didn't even know that. That's the armor would get in the way, so I'd like to resolve that.
Is that cool with you, Shashina?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so Slippy, you gain an experience point. Shashina.
No, but only because I didn't actually get to taste Slippy. So it's still possible tasty. I'm not sure.
If you grab the pants on the way down.
Yeah, okay. All right, moving on. Quickly. Running away. If you fulfilled that alignment at least once, mark XP. So I will go in the opposite direction. Shashina, we can talk about your new alignment at some other point. So for right now, stick with your old one. Did you fulfill your alignment? Unless you'd like to switch right now, because you kind of may have done a new one.
I'm not sure I actually fulfilled my alignment that I currently have.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to change it, but I won't do that right now. I'll do that offline.
Okay. So do you want to hold off on that and we can talk about it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Slippy, what was your alignment?
I was neutral to defeat a worthy foe. I don't think I defeated much of anything.
Got whaled by a dragon.
Yeah, I got
Aliana.
punched.
I performed my art to aid someone else.
Awesome. You get an experience point. Andromeda.
Set up and trigger a crazy chain of events. I mean, I sort of feel like putting the chick in the portal in the first place.
I can buy it. If you are willing to take blame for that, I feel comfortable that should get you an experience point.
Kind of. I mean, her acquaintance with the Elder God is obviously, clearly my fault.
You did open a giant portal in the building that she died in, so.
Did.
Graves.
Mine is good. Defend those weaker than you, and I save Slippy. Yay, Slippy.
Get an experience point. Finally, did we learn something new and important about the world?
All the cloud sprites are dead, man.
That counts. Everybody gets an experience point. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
She got away.
Yeah. I mean, you overcame her in that you knocked her sword out of her hand.
Yeah.
Didn't really feel like a
You
win.
made
though.
her retreat. That could count as a win.
It feels so like half-ass.
It's your call.
Yep, but we round up, so it's good.
Alright, everybody gets an experience point for rounding up. Did you loot a memorable treasure?
Did I get to keep her sword?
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you gonna weld this one onto your double sword?
Oh yes! Christ.
I should be clear, this sword is made of the cloud sprite dust that he was looking for,
I might lick it on occasion.
as opposed to let Slippy have it to restore his voice, because, who cares about that? Oh wait, you have feels now!
Oh shit!
Oh god, I'm gonna give him the sword, aren't I? Oh my god, you guys! Shashina with feels. I love it so much.
I don't know how I feel about this. Damn it.
Well, just wait until all your paramours are asking for your attention and time, and you have to negotiate, balance, and not hurt their feelings.
I think that's yes from Emerald Treasure, though, so everybody gets an experience point for that.
Did I think I got my best in life thing, too.
Yes, you absolutely did. You saw your enemies driven before you, 100%.
Yes! I'm sure they lamented.
They were shadow creatures, so in their own way, they lamented by dying.
They're like, no, not Fred. Don't kill my friend, Shadow Fred. No.
Shadow Fred.
All right. And with that, we can bring it to a close. So thank you so much, everybody, for playing. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Dr. Tom.
Thanks for having me.
And we will be back in 2 weeks for episode 18, in which Dr. Tom will be running the game and will wreak vengeance upon me, I'm sure. Thank you, as always, Andrea, Jen, Misha, and Sarah. It is always great fun to play with you. Thank you for being here, and thank you, as always, for being awesome. And thank you, everybody, for watching. If you like this, please subscribe by clicking the button that should be in that corner. We do lots of cool stuff at Indie Plus, and as I mentioned at the beginning, this is episode 17, and so there are 16 other episodes that you should really watch if you want to have any context at all for what the hell just happened. All right, thank you all again. Have a good night.